figured out how the pollution system works. So let's look at this person. So if we look at their um, pollution bar, this one's almost full. If they get fully polluted, they get a disease. And then the diseases cause debuffs for us. So reducing pollution means we get less of this debuffs. Some of the debuffs I've seen are sponge head, which means that we use more water, which we don't really want, but it's okay. We can handle it. And then the other one I've seen is one that causes a debuff to the smog head, which makes it so that they get the debuff. This town stinks, which makes them not really happy with the beauty of the town, which decreases the morale. So the morale, it looks as though to me like the morale, the higher it is, the better we do with gaining experience and other things like that. So we want to try to keep that up, but it's something we're going to have to work on with different things. So it's all good with that. So then the other thing I've been working on, I'm going to put this tower on before I forget what I've been doing. Let's do it on this side. I've been looking into the fish. So it does appear like if I have more than one thing queued up for trying to do the auto queue, it's not going to work. So I'm building one of these for each fish. But for right now, if we look through these, this is making unbottled fillet, which isn't really useful to us because the unbottled fillet, we don't have any way to turn that into anything else that I can see, because this is all for flounder and for gobblers. I think we need to get into a higher tier of food. If we go to our research panel, the next thing we can do is an electric fish kebab, or maybe the food truck. Well, this one we could actually probably, didn't mean to switch my research. I just wanted to look at it. We could probably do this one. This one might give us some more options. So that might be the next research we do. For now, I'm trying to finish up this radio tower research so that we can look for specialists. I'm not sure how that works, but next we'll do is get that. So right now I have this was making our unbottled fillet, and I want to cancel that doing it because I can't do anything with the unbottled fillet because I don't have any way to cook them. So I'm trying to make a section over here that is like our food section. And so I'm just experimenting with it a little bit to see how things work. And I'm going to try to make it so I have a section of this is what I do with the unbottled fish. And then another section, which would be this one where I handle what to do with the gobblers. And then I have a section where I handle the flounders. That's what I'm shooting for right now. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make it on this side, and then I can remove these as I go. The first thing is what to do with the bottled fish, because we get bottled fish from here. We also get it from fishing. And right now we have, if we look at our ingredients, let's see, where's the bottled fish? I guess I don't have any left, so it doesn't show it. But the bottled fish, what's the icon look? Bottled fish, we can take him and unbottle him. Like, that's the thing we need. And we had it over here. I'm going to move it and put one right here. And then after that, we'll figure out the best thing we can do with that unbottled fish and go from there. And our goal in this section of our town is to make the best food we possibly can with the resources that we have. So I have the unbottled fish section set up here. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to make it so that each type of food has its own walkway here in the food production. And so for the bottled fish, I start here where I bring a bottled fish that I catch and I unbottle it, which will give me unbottled fish and it will give me plastic waste. Now, the unbottled fish, I do have the option of taking that and turning it into the unbottled fillet, but as we talked about before, our grill doesn't have anything to do with that, so they would just be sitting. So like I made 28 of those, 28 or 19 of the unbottled fillet, and I can't do anything with them. So for now, I put in this fish sticks, which turns the unbottled fish into dried unbottled fish. Now that has a pollution level of 9, which isn't great, but it is food that we can eat. So the next thing we need to figure out is where we start with gobblers. So oil gobblers, we can either make gobbler fillets, or we can cook it directly into grilled gobbler. Now, grilled gobbler has a pollution level of 4, or 12, which is not great. The grilled gobbler fillet is only 6. So what would be best is if we have a gobbler fillet, which is made in the fish washer, and then we turn that using the fish kebab into grilled gobbler fillets. That's going to be our best option for gobblers. So we need to build, I'm going to actually remove this one now that I have the layout that I want to do. And then we're going to build a new fish washer, and next to it we're going to build a fish kebab. And then that's what we're going to use to take the go from oil gobblers all the way to a usable food with a grilled gobbler fillet, which has a very low pollution level. I've built our fish washer and I've set it to do infinite production of gobbler fillets, and then I set our production limit on gobbler fillets up to 20. So that'll take care of making gobbler fillets for us. I'm removing the fish kebab from over here and I'm going to move it. I did notice that the fish kebab can actually be upgraded into the electric fish kebab. So the electric fish kebab is just a powered version of the fish kebab. So that means we'll be able to upgrade that in place. Speaking of upgrading in place, I have been starting to do our drying racks into huge drying racks, which means this one can do 5 and this one can do 8. And this produces dry wood. And dry wood, let's see, how much dry wood do I have? I have a ton. Dry wood is used for lots of things, but and I'm going to leave it on infinite, but I don't need to have so many. So I'm going to remove this one and I'll upgrade this one. That way we have enough to do 10 in a less space than we used to do 9. But we are working on this here. We want to do our fish kebab like this. And then once this gets built, we'll set this to make our grilled gobbler. And then we'll have that set up. So that's pretty cool. Oh no, I'm sorry. Grilled gobbler fillets is what we're going to be making there. Because we're going to make here, we're making gobbler fillets, and then we're going to be making the grilled gobbler fillet. So let's already set this to, I guess we can have that set so that we make that until we run out, because I want to do that with all of the gobblers. So I don't need to have a production. So I guess I do want it to be, once I get to 30, let's do 30 here and 30 here, we'll stop, because I don't want them to keep producing it when there's other work they can get done. But so all I got to do is, once this fish kebab is built, we'll set it to make grilled gobbler fillets, and then we're done with our oil gobbler section of the food, which means we can add in our next section of our kitchen area. Okay, so let's set this up. We want to do grilled gobbler fillets. We want them to be infinite, and that will help fill up this queue, giving us plenty of food from there. The nice thing about bottled fish is that there is, other than supplying this, there's no interaction from our drifters. So that's a good food source that it doesn't require a lot of work. We will upgrade this to get other food that we can make with it once we have other options. So right now, the only thing we can do with unbottled fish, the best thing we can do with unbottled fish, is dry unbottled fish instead of dried bottled fish. But we'll be adding more to that as we go. So the last section we want to work on here is what we're going to do with our flounder. So flounder, we have the option of making flounder fillets, which is right here, and then or we can make grilled flounder. So flounder fillet is the same thing as it is with the 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 bottled fillets. I don't have anything that I can do with them yet. So what I'm going to do is build a fish kebab, because at the fish kebab, I can take bloated flounder and make it directly into grilled flounder, which is a yummy food with only 3 pollution. So that is our goal right now. I need to get more plastic for that, and so we will do that when we get time. I think I'm going to remove this. If I deconstruct this, I'll get back 6 floaters, 2 wooden planks, and 2 rope. And I can use the resources from that to build our fish kebab, and then we'll have our starter food production all finished. The grilled flounder section is now finished, so if we have any bloated flounder we catch, we can turn them into grilled flounder, which is the best food we can make right now. And so that's all done. The other thing I've been focusing on is, instead of trying to clear out the entire area that I can harvest, I've been focusing on finding little sections and moving my boat to it. So that way we're moving my town to it. That way my boats don't have to travel so far to collect resources. They can get them done a lot faster. So, like, for example, I'm trying to collect all of this plastic. So my boat, instead of having to go all the way across the map to get to it, they can just boat right out here and grab this stuff. I'm also working on making a boat section here where I'm adding in more boats so that we can get more done. It doesn't make too much sense to do too many until we have more drifters, which is where we're headed to next, to get more people to work for us. But getting ready for that and having more boats is always a good thing. So I have my 1 fishing boat, and then I have 2 scavenging boats set up here, or at least I will once I build the second one. That way we can have plenty of people going out to collect things when there's nothing else to be done. And that will help speed everything up. So yeah, I know in this episode we were talking about going to get another drifter, but we ended up working on food production, which I think is really good. This is really nice setup. I'm happy with it. And now we'll be able to get lots of food going to keep us going as we get new drifters. But we are definitely, in the next one, going to focus right away on following this marker, this direction, and finding where our drifter's hiding. I think it's this one right here with a little campfire there. So hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.